Mayim, which is wine. Vaya Shalom, which means to Israel. I might be in the room, so I'm putting out the door. We stand, turn to face east. Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanaw, Shabashamayim, Kwadash, Hayah, Shemkah, Yahweh, Malakutah, Dabah, Batzak, Hayah, Aisha, Baratza, Kawah, Hayah, Bashamayim, Lefungno, Lacham, Kalion, Waslachno, Chawafno, Slachno, Chawafno, Wala'ah, the Bayad, want to say one, a ball, Hawashino, Mayun, Ra, Kaya, Lakah, Amalakwa, Wa'ala, Watapara, Labalunya, Aman. The English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts. We forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation. Deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Prayer for the power structure in the Hebrew. Rakatah Yahweh. Wa Yahweh Shah. Wa Mayaka'ah. Wa Alahai. Matajabi Alawapi. Alawapi. Hasruni. Hakuziani. Akayali. Bahakwathi. Yahweh. Bashim Yahweh Shah. Wada Amun. The English, blessed you Yahweh, and Yahweh Shah, and Michael, and the angels, commanding General Yahweh, generals, the captains, the officers, troopers, and assistants, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shah. Thank you. So be it. Pray for the prophesied curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth, and all things living. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shah. Listen to us now, right now. Send evils and curses, and punishment and destruction to the heathen that speak against us, thy prophets, the teachers, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brothers, and the school. Send evils and curses, and punishment and destruction to the heathen, and shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel. They refuse to give to the school. Force their riches to enter into thy sanctuary. Send evils and curses, and punishment and destruction to the Edomites and the nations, their drug dealers, the court system, the prison system, Planned Parenthood, all the governments of our enemies. Let's say God's word. The Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, skinhead, the gay movement, the lesbian movement, spies, workers of witchcraft, NASA space program, the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street. Open up the internet and the airways, cable access channels, the radio channels. Convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us, to bring swift destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way, or try to stop us, broadcasting your words throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues. Cause me to go to and fro through the earth and consume it. Let the plagues shake the house of the thief and the murderer. Let your house shout. Michael and Gabriel come down to flying saucers and punish all the heathens. They come up against us as we speak thy word. Cause to be known by all. That it is the angels that have done it. Cause to be spread through the media throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake at thy coming. In the name of your house shout. Thank you always. So be it. So I face the front. Yeshavim, which means be seated. Right back here. The Sabbath service, picking it up where we left off. Moses getting tired of everybody. Week after week. God's getting tired of everybody, and Moses asking God for mercy. And so we want to pick it up this week with a famous story that anybody who grew up around any church has a familiarity with the outline of it. And let's jump back into the Hebrew where we left off last week. Numbers 20 and verse 7. Bar Yahweh al Mashal Amar Kwach Ath Hamata Wahakohol Athaida Atha Waharun Achika Adabarathum Athasalai La Yehum Wanathan Mayum Yawa Wawatazath Lahum Mayum Mun Hasalai Wahashakyah Athaida Waath Bairum. Verse 9, Kwak Masha Athamata Walapunya Yahweh Katshar Tazawawa. Verse 10, Kwaholwa Masha Waharun Athakohol Al Punya Aslai Wayamar Lahum Shmaiwa Na'a Amarium Hamun Hasalai Hazah Nawataziyah Lakum Mayum. Verse 11, Wairum Masha Athiadwa Wayak Hasalai Wamatawa Payumyum Wayazawa Mayum Rabium Wathashath Ha'aida Wabayarum. Verse 12, Wayamar Yahweh al Masha wa al Harun Ya'ain La'ah Ha'amunthum Baya Lahakwadiyashum Lahakwadiyashnua La Yunya Bunya Sha'ala Akun La'ah Dabyawa Ath Akohol Hazah Alaratiza Ashar Nathathil Lahum. Verse 13, Hama Maya Mariabah Ashar Rabwa Bunya Sha'ala Ath Yahweh Kodash Bam. And we're going to jump back to the Hebrew, or back to the English, from 20 and verse 7. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Take the rod and gather thou the assembly together, thou and Aaron thy brother, and speak ye unto the rock before their eyes, and it shall give forth his water, and thou shalt bring forth to them water out of the rock. So thou shalt give the congregation and their beasts drink. And so the Lord is setting up. Now the background on this, again, the people, this is almost for us going through the Sabbath service. We go through this consecutively every week. And this has almost been like a weekly occurrence for us, where we come up on a story where the people are in the wilderness and they're complaining. Even though the Lord just brought them out of slavery, they're saying we had it better in slavery. And every week I say, that's you soft, lily-livered Negroes that swear that you just want to vote your way into being nice and comfortable here in America. You just want to, we just need to vote for the right person. We just need to put our heads down and work, and we'll just have a little piece of the American dream. That's you want to be comfortable in slavery. You're the same niggas 2,000, 3,000 years later, 5,000 years later, that instead of coming into our own land, you would have rather turn back and go back to Egypt. Because freedom is hard. It's hard work to be a free man. You got to be a real man to be a free man. And we got way too many of our people that have been made docile by America, docile by Christianity and by slavery. That's what we're fighting back against today. That's what Moses was dealing with in the wilderness. The Lord did, no matter what miracles the Lord did, a couple of chapters back, they came up against Moses and the Lord swallowed them all up into a sinkhole and then burned the rest of them. And a week later, they're coming back and complaining again after they just saw that happen right in front of their eyes. And so we back to that. There was no water. They were in the desert. They were having a rough little time period. And so the people gathered themselves together against Moses and Aaron. And they argued with Moses and said, we wish we would have just died when the rest of them died. When the Lord swallowed them up in a sinkhole and burned them out from heaven, we wish we would have been in them. That's literally what the scripture says they said. They said, why did you bring us out into the wilderness that we all just going to die here? So even after everything they said, they still had no faith. And they were talking about there not being any water. So Moses and Aaron went and they fell upon their faces to the Lord, because every time the people did this, Moses had to go and plead with the Lord for mercy, because God was getting tired of these people. Every time they did this, God said, look, Moses, just stand over there so I can just wipe these people out. Just stand over there so I can send fire out and consume all of them. And I'm going to raise the Mosesites. I'm going to make you the nation now. That didn't just happen once. That happened repeatedly. And they had to plead for mercy for the people every time. And that's the same spirit we're supposed to have today, to plead for mercy for our people, no matter how much they're bugging out. And so now this time, they immediately went and fell on their faces, and the Lord appeared to them. And now that's where we're at. So verse 8. The Lord is speaking to them. It says, take thy rod and gather thou the assembly together, thou and Aaron thy brother, and speak ye unto the rock before their eyes. And it shall give forth his water, and thou shalt bring forth to them water out of the rock. So thou shalt give the congregation and their beasts drink. And so this was meant to be, you see the way it's described here. This was meant to be a simple thing. You know, the same way the Lord just started raining manna from heaven. He didn't do it with some big dramatic flair. He just told the people this was going to happen, and it happened. So now he said, all right, y'all don't have water? Here, I'm going to provide you water. He told Moses to go and speak to the congregation, tell them that the Lord is going to bring forth water, and speak to the rock so that the people can see that it's a miracle that the Lord is with Moses. Because everything going through here is the Lord showing who he's with. Because order and structure is what keeps our nation together. You got to know who you're supposed to be riding with, who you're supposed to follow. Without that, there's chaos. Without that, there's constant fighting. Well, I should be in charge. No, I should be in charge. All right, well, I'm going to break off and start my own group. Then why can't we just start our own group? Who says, show me, what do they always say? Show me ISUBK in the Bible. The Lord shows who he's with through things, through works like this. So he sent Moses to speak to the rock, so the rock was going to give forth water. Verse 9. And Moses took the rod from before the Lord as he commanded him. And Moses and Aaron gathered the congregation together before the rock. And he said unto them, now ye rose, must we fetch you water out of this rock? So now Moses is already doing too much, right? He didn't come, the Lord just said, speak to the rock to give forth water. And now Moses is out here cursing the people out. He said, here, listen up, rebels. Now we got to bring you water out of this rock. It's a lot here. Moses was fed up with this. And he brought the people together. He went off script right here, basically. Verse 11, and Moses lifted up his hand, and with his rod he smote the rock twice. So now you imagine Moses. Go ahead.
When you said went off script, but like if you ever saw like television, like moments,
Yeah.
or like doing the bloopers.
Oh yeah.
Coming out of character.
Exactly. This was not how this scene was supposed to play out. But Moses got out there. He tired of these people. He tired of going through this every couple of weeks. And he came out, told the people off, smacked the rock with his stick twice. Said, now what? Now what? Now we got to get you water out of this rock? All right, here. Pow. Pow. And the water came out. The scripture said, and the water came out abundantly. And the congregation drank, and their beasts also. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron, because ye believed me not, to sanctify me in the eyes of the children of Israel. Therefore ye shall not bring this congregation into the land which I have given. So the Lord was not playing with this. He said, because you didn't believe me to sanctify me, because the whole point of this, when you get instructions, you do it the way that you're given, because it's like that for a reason. If Moses came out and said, and he spoke to the rock, and he said, bring forth water, and the rock brought forth water, then all that's showing is that there's a God that's taking care of his people, and he's with Moses. Simple. Instead, he came out and made it all about him. He said, I'm tired of y'all, you rebels. We gotta bring you water out of this rock. And then he struck the rock like it was him bringing the water out of the rock. And so the Lord said, all right, you didn't believe me. You didn't sanctify me in the eyes of the children of Israel, which was the whole point of this setup, was to show that the Lord is taking care of them. All right. Okay. You just not going to be the one to bring them into the land. So sometimes you never know. You do something small, but that could be the thing where the Lord says, all right, it's time for you to have some punishment. You never know if it's a small thing or the big thing. The Lord have mercy when he chooses to have mercy. Verse 12 or verse 13. This is the water of Meribah, because the children of Israel strove with the Lord, and he was sanctified in them. And so we're going to go back to the Hebrew. Verse 14. V'ashalach Masha Malakim Makodash Amalak Adawum Ka'amar Akika Yasha'ala Atha Yadai Athkal Athalah Ashar Matazathnua. Verse 15. Wairadwa Abathanawa Matazariama Manashab Bamatazarium Yum Yum Rabium Wairaiwa Lanawa Matazarium Wala Bathanawa. Verse 16. Wanatazai Al Yahawa Washamai Kwalawa Washalach Malak Wayatazanwa Wamatazarium Wahana Anachnua Wakodash Ayar Quataza Gabawalka. Verse 17. Na'ibara Na Baratzaka La'a Na'ibar Shada Bakarum Wala'a Nashata Maya Ba'ar Darak Hamalak Nalak La'a Nata Yum Yum Washmawal Ida Shar the Ibar, the Walka, verse 18, Waya Amar Aliwa, Adawam, La'ad, Ibar, Bayapun, Baharab, Atazah, Lakwarathka, verse 19, Waya Marwa Aliwa, Banyash'ala, Mamashalah, Ayla, Wa'am, Mayamyaka, Nashatha, Anya, Umakwanwa, Wanathafia, Makarum, Rak Ayan, the Bar, Bargalia, Ibarah, verse 20, Wayamar La'ah, the Ibar, Wayatazah, Adawum, Akarathwa, Ba'im, Kabad, Wabayad, Hazakwa, and back to the English. Verse 14, and Moses sent the messengers from Kadesh unto the king of Edom. Thus saith thy brother Israel, thou knowest all the travail that hath befallen us, how our fathers went down into Egypt, and we have dwelt in Egypt a long time, and the Egyptians vexed us and our fathers. And when we cried unto the Lord, he heard our voice, and sent an angel, and hath brought us forth out of Egypt. And behold, we are in Kadesh, a city in the uttermost of thy border. Let us pass, I pray thee, through thy country. We will not pass through the fields or through the vineyards, neither will we drink of the water of the wells. We will go by the king's highway. We will not turn to the right hand nor to the left until we have passed thy borders. And Edom said unto him, thou shalt not pass by me, lest I come out against thee with the sword. So this is Edom dealing with us all the way back when we was in the wilderness. Not even having the least little bit of kindness to just let us go straight through the highway like we passing on I-95 through North Carolina. It's like if we say we won't even get off the highway, can we just pass through I-95? And they say, no, I'm going to come and run y'all over. Verse 19, and the children of Israel said unto him, we will go by the highway, and if I and my cattle drink of thy water, then I will pay for it. I will only, without doing anything else, go through on my feet. And he said, thou shalt not go through. And Edom came out against him with much people and with a strong hand. Thus Edom refused to give Israel passage through his border, wherefore Israel turned away from him. And the children of Israel, even the whole congregation, journeyed from Kadesh and came unto Mount Hor. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in Mount Hor by the coast of the land of Edom, saying, and by the way, every little thing in these scriptures is spiritual. Because when you hear this, like, who does this sound like? This don't sound like nobody else but the white man. Because you got Amalek, you got the Ishmael over there in Israel trying to say that the Palestinians are the Edomites, and they just saying them so that they could go and wipe them out and be cruel to them. But this don't sound like nobody on earth except the white man. You trying to most of the earth has at least a little bit of hospitality to people, you know, coming through, that's coming through in peace. Most of the planet Earth has some type of like kindness. Only the white man would hear somebody saying, I just want to pass through the edge of your land. We're just going through. We're not going to stop. We're not going to drink none of your water even. We're just going to pass right through. And he's saying, nah, if you do that, we're going to chop your heads off. That's the white man. That's nobody else on the planet would act like that. But we're going to jump back to the Hebrew from verse 21. Wayaman, Adam, the son Ath Yasha'ala, Ibar, Bagabalwa, Wayat, Yasha'ala, Ma'aliwa, Wayasaiwa, Makurash, Wayabawa, Bani Yasha'ala, Call Ha'aida, Har Mahar, it's like a Har, verse 23. Wayamar Yahweh al Masha, wa Allah Haran, Bahar Hahar, al Gabawal, Arataza, Adawam, La Amar, Yasap, Aharan, al Aimiwa, Kaya, La'a, Yaba'a, al Harataza, Ashar, Nathathia, Labanya Yasha'ala, al Ashar, Mariathum, Afpaya, Lamya, Mariaba, verse 25, Kwach Atha Haran, Wa Atha al Izar, Bunua, Wa Ha'al, Athum, Har Har, 26, Wa Bashat, Atha Haran, Athbagadua, Wa Bashathum, Atha al Izar, Bunua, Wa Haran, Yasap, Mashum, Aisha, Masha, Shar, Tazua, Yahweh, Wa Alwa, Har Har, La Yunya, Kal Ha'aida. Back to the English for verse 22. Verse 22. And the children of Israel, even the whole congregation, journeyed from Kadesh and came unto Mount Hor. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in Mount Hor by the coast of the land of Edom, saying, Aaron shall be gathered unto his people, for he shall not enter into the land which I have given unto the children of Israel, because ye rebelled against my word at the water of Meribah. Take Aaron and Eleazar his son and bring them up to Mount Hor, and strip Aaron of his garments and put them upon Eleazar his son. And Aaron shall be gathered unto his people and shall die there. And Moses did unto as the Lord commanded, and they went up into Mount Hor in the sight of all the congregation. Back to the Hebrew. Verse 28. Pashat Masha Atha Haran Ath Megadua Wailabash Thumb Athal Izar Bundua Wayamath Aharan Shum Barash Ahar Wayrad Masha Wal-Izar Munahar Wayrawa Kal Ha'ida Kal Gawai Harun Waybakwa Athaharun Delashtum Yuwum called by Yathyash Allah, by Shemai, Hakananya, Malak, Irad, Yeshab, Nagab, Kaya, by Sha'ala, Darak, Atharium, by Lachum, by Sha'ala, by Shab, Mamunwa, Shabbat, Shabya, verse 2, Wayadar, Yasha'ala, Nadar, Layhawa, Wayamar, Amnathan, the son Ath Ha'im, Azab, Ayadya, Wacharamatya, Ath Ariham, verse 3, by Shemai, Yahweh, by Bakwal, Yasha'ala, by son Ath Hakananya, by Haram, Atham, by Ath Ariham, by Karak, Shum, Hamakuam, Harma, verse 4, by Saiwa, Mahar, Hahar, Barak, Yom Swat, Lasabab, Atharatadar Adawam, Wathakwatadar, the Pash Ha'im, Barak, verse 5, where the Bar Ha'im, Balahayim, Obamasha, Lama, Haliathnua, Mamatzarium, Amawath, Mamadabar, Kayayan, Lacham, Wa'an, Mayam, Wanapashua, Quatzah, Lacham, Halakwal, and back to the English. 28 or 28. And Moses stripped Aaron of his garments and put them upon Eleazar his son. And Aaron died there in the top of the mount, and Moses and Eleazar came down from the mount. And when all the congregation saw that Aaron was dead, they mourned for Aaron 30 days, even all the house of Israel. And when King Arad the Canaanite, which dwelt in the south, heard tell that Israel came by the way of the spies, then he fought against Israel and took some of them prisoners. And Israel vowed a vow unto the Lord and said, if thou wilt indeed deliver this people into my hand, then I will utterly destroy their cities. And the Lord hearkened to the voice of Israel and delivered up the Canaanites, and they utterly destroyed them in their cities. And he called the name of the place Hormah, which is a reminder. You thinking of this people just wandering through the wilderness, just moseying on through the wilderness, and you hate how militant we are. How do you think they were so ready to go to battle just like that? We always move with militants. We always move like we ready to go. Because that's how the Lord, look, this ain't magic, all right? The Lord always shows that he's going to deliver us by showing that it's not through our power, by, whether we're outnumbered, whatever the case, but that don't take away our responsibility to be ready, to move in a certain way, to have the courage to go do it. Verse 4, and they journeyed from Mount Hor by the way of the Red Sea to compass the land of Edom, and the soul of the people was much discouraged because of the way. And the people spake against God and against Moses. Wherefore have ye brought us up out of Egypt to die in the wilderness? For there is no bread, neither is there any water, and our soul loatheth this light bread. So they see all the people. They see all the people that's coming up against them. They tired of it. They say we sick of this little bread that we got. There's not enough water, and they're complaining again. Back to the Hebrew. Verse 6. Vayishlach Yahweh ba'ayim af hanachashtum asherapim vayinashakwa atha'im vayamat aim rab mayasha'ala. Verse 7. Vayib'ah ha'im al masha vayamarwa hata'anwa Sakhatanawa Kaya, the Barnwa, by Yahweh, Wabak, at the Balal, Al Yahweh, by Yasar, Ma'al Yanoah, Athanachash, with the Balal, Masha, Ba'id Ha'im, verse 8, Wayamar Yahweh al Masha, Aishalaka, Sharap, Washiam, Athwa al Nash, Wahaya Kal, Hanashwat, Wara'ah, Athwa, Wachaya, verse 9, Waya Aisha, Masha, Nachash, Akashaf, Waya Shemawa, Al Hanash, Wahaya, Al Nashat, Hanachash, Athayash, Wahabayat, Al Nakash, Hanachashath, Wachaya, verse 10, Wayasaiwa ben Yash'ala, Wayachanwa, Ba'avath, verse 11, Wayasaiwa, Mabath, Bachanwa, Baya, Hibarium, Bamadabar, Ashar, Alpunyam al Ab, Bamazarach, Hachamash, or Salaka Hashamash, verse 12, Mashum, Nasaiwa, Bachanwa, Machal, Zarad, and back to the English from verse 6. And the Lord sent fiery serpents among the people, and they bit the people, and much people of Israel died. So the Lord said, you don't like this bread, you don't like the water, all right, you ain't got to have no more bread and no more water. Verse 7, therefore the people came to Moses and said, we have sinned, for we have spoken against the Lord and against thee. Pray unto the Lord that he take away the serpents from us. And Moses prayed for the people, because Moses was always seeking mercy on the people. He always cared for the people. Verse 8, and the Lord said unto Moses, make thee a fiery serpent and set it upon a pole, and it shall come to pass that everyone that is bitten, when he looketh upon it, shall live. Moses made a serpent of brass and put it on a pole, and it came to pass that if a serpent had bitten any man, when he beheld the serpent of brass, he lived. And the children of Israel set forward and pitched in Obath. And they journeyed from Obath and pitched at Ijabarim in the wilderness, which is before Moab, toward the sunrise. From thence they removed and pitched in the valley of Zered. So we're going to jump back to the Hebrew from verse 13. Lashon, Nasaiwa, Wayachanwa, Ma'aibar, Arana 1, Ashar, Bamadabar, Hayatazab, Magabal, Hamaria, Kaya, Arana 1, Gobal, Moaba, Bayan, Moaba, Babayan, Hamaria, verse 14, Alkan, Yamar, Aspar, Malachamath, Yahweh As Wahab, Basopach Wa'ath, Hanachalium, Aranwan, verse 15, Washad, Hanachalium, Ashar, Natah, Bashabath, Ir, Wanashayan, Agabawal, Moaba, verse 16, Wamashum, Bara, Hawa'ah, Haba'ar, Ashar, Amar, Yahweh, Lamasha, Sap, Atha'im, Wa'athana, Lahum, verse 17, Az Yashiar, Yash'ala, Ath Hashiara, Hazath, Aliyah Ba'ar, Ainoa, La, verse 18, Ba'ar, Kaparwa, Sharyum, Karwa, Nadiabya, Ha'im, Bamachakwat, Bamasha'inath, Wamamadabar, Mathana, verse 19, Wamathana, Nachaliala, Wamanachaliala, Wamawath. And back to the English from verse 13. From thence they removed and pitched in the valley of Zered. From thence they removed and pitched on the other side of Arnon, which is in the wilderness and cometh out of the coast of the Amorites. For Arnon is the border of Moab, between Moab and the Amorites. Wherefore it is said in the book of the wars of the Lord, what he did in the Red Sea and in the brooks of Arnon, and at the stream of the brooks that goeth down to the dwelling of Ar, and lieth upon the border of Moab. And from thence they went to Beer, that is the well whereof the Lord spake unto Moses, gather the people together, and I will give them water. 17, which this references the book of the wars of the Lord, which of course is a book that we don't have, maybe a book that we don't have, but y'all, a lot of y'all see references like this and then go looking for those books, and don't do that. The things that you're gonna find that are called, like when you see reference to Enoch, that book of Enoch is garbage.
Right.
That is absolutely not anything that anyone in the ancient times read and knew as the book of Enoch. This is an industry because people just want to keep finding more and more books instead of doing what these books say. Start with that. Do what these say. Then if you run out, then let's talk about some other books. Verse 15, or verse 16, and from thence they went to Beer. That is the well whereof the Lord spake unto Moses, gather the people together, and I will give them water. Then Israel sang this song, spring up, O well, sing ye unto it. The princes digged the well, the nobles of the people digged it by the direction of the lawgiver with their staves, and from the wilderness they went to Mathanah, and from Mathanah to Nahaliel, and from Nahaliel to Bamath. And we're going to go back to the Hebrew. Verse 20. Mabawath, Hagiah, Ashar, Bashadah, Moabah, Ash, Habasagah, Wanashakupah, Al Punya Hayashim. Verse 21. Washalach, Yasha'ala, Malakim, Al Sehan, Malach Ha'amaria, La'amar, Ibara, Baratzaka, La'am Natah, Bashadah, Bakarum, La'a Nashatha, Maya Ba'ar, Badarak, Amalak, Nalak, Id Ashar, Naibar, Kabalka, verse 23, Wala'a Nathun, Seychun, Akyash'ala Ibar, Lagabalwa, Wayasap, Seyhun, Athkal, Aimawa, Wayatzah, Akarath, Yasha'ala, Hamadabara, Wayabad, Yahatzah, Wayalhum, Slaki Wayalhum, Wayasha'ala, verse 24, Wayakawa Yasha'ala, Lapia Harab, Harab, Wayrash Maratzwa, Aranan, Idabak, Bunya Aimawan, Kaya, Eyes Gabor, Bunya Aimawan, Kwak Yasha'ala, Afkal, Ha'arim, Ha'ala, Washab Yasha'ala, Bakal, Arya, Ha'amaria, Bakashabwan, Bakal, Manathiyah, verse 26. Kaya, Kashabwan, Ayar, Sa'an, Malak, Ha'amaria, Hawa'ah, Wahawa'ah, Nalthum, Malak Moabah, Harashwan, Wakwach Athkal, Aratzwa, Mayadwa Id Arnan. Back to the English from verse 20. And from Bamath in the valley that is in the country of Moab to the top of Pisgah, which looketh toward Jeshimon, and Israel sent messengers unto Sihon, king of the Amorites, saying, let me pass through thy land. We will not turn into the fields or into the vineyards. We will not drink of thy waters, of the waters of the well, but we will go along by the king's highway until we be past thy borders. And Sihon would not suffer Israel to pass through his border. But Sihon gathered all his people together and went out against Israel into the wilderness, and he came to Jahaz and fought against Israel. And Israel smote him with the edge of the sword, and possessed his land from Arnon unto Jabbok, even unto the children of Ammon, for the border of the children of Ammon was strong. And Israel took all these cities, and Israel dwelt in all the cities of the Amorites, in Heshbon, and in all the villages thereof. So we just knocked them out, took their cities, and just chilled there for a little bit. Verse 26. For Heshbon was the city of Sihon, the king of the Amorites, who had fought against the former king of Moab and taken all his land out of his hand, even unto Arnon. So we just knocked them out, rolled up into their cities, and said, you know what, this is a nice city. I think this is our city now. And that's what we can do when the Lord is with us and we have courage and we not acting the way that we started out this set, where we're whining about what we don't have and wishing we were still back in slavery. And I'll gladly take the opportunity to say this every week, because this is what we're dealing with in 2026. We're dealing with a whole class of Negroes in America who are perfectly happy in slavery, who would rather fight for crumbs from the white man than to separate spiritually from this place and do something different. But we're going to do something different. Yeah, we're going to pick this up next week. I imagine up here. Right? Small, which means horn. Yeah, young, which is wine. Layasha'ala, which means to Israel. Small, which means horn. Imagine in the room. So, Punya Hakodom, which means stand, turn to face the east. Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abanaw. Bashamayim. Barashaya. Shabka. Yahweh. Balakwaska. Tabah. Ratizak. Hayah. Aisha. Baratizak. Hawa. Hayah. Bashamayim. Defundana. Machon. Kaliwa. Waslachana. Kowachna. Kaslachna. Kowachna. Bala'ah. Abayana. Manasawun. Abal. Kawashanu. Mayun. Ra. Kaya. Laka. Amalakwa. Wa'al. Wasapara. I will love you. Amun. The English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Pray for the power structure. Barak Yahweh. Why Yahweh Shai? Why Mayakah? Why Lahai? But the Zabi Allah behind. Halawah. Hashran. Hakwasian. Hakaya. Bahakwa. Yahweh. Bashim Yahweh Shai. The English. Bless you, Yahweh. And Yahweh Shai. And Michael. And the angels. Many general Yahweh. The generals. The captains. The officers. The troopers. And the sisters. Yahweh. The name Yahweh Shai. Thank you. So be it. Pray for the prophesied curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth, and all things live. Yahweh, the name Yahweh Shai. Listen to us now, right now. Said evils and curses, punishment and destruction to the heathen that speak against us, thy prophets, the teachers, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brothers, and the school. Said evils and curses, punishment and destruction to the heathen that shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel. They refuse to give to the school. Force their riches to enter into thy sanctuary. Said evils and curses, punishment and destruction to the Edomites, the nations, their drug dealers, the court system, the prison system, the Planned Parenthood, all the government surveillance, Amalek synagogues and armies, Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan nations, skinheads, proselytizers, the gay movement, the lesbian movement, spies, workers of witchcraft, NASA space program, the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street, open up the internet and the airwaves, the cable access channels, and the radio channels. Convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us, and bring swift destruction to all the evil that stand in the way, and try to stop us from broadcasting your words throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues. Cause them to go to and fro through the earth and consume them. Let the plagues shake the house of the thief and the murderer. Let your house shut. Michael and Gabriel come down to flying saucers and punish all the evils that come up against us as we speak thy word. Cause it to be known by all that it's the angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread through the media throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake at thy coming. In the name of your house shut. Thank you always. So be it. Sword face to front. We're going to pick it up next week at Numbers 21 and 26 or 27. We're going to give one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, I imagine Shabbat. I imagine Barak. Yahweh, Shem Yahweh, 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 dismiss.
Yo.